Time to have a look at the papers this morning with the broadcaster Tanya Bryant and property presenter Martin Roberts. Morning, both.
Good morning, Steve. Morning, Gillian.
Well,
morning.
I have to say, I mean, no offence, Martin, but Tanya.
I know.
I've already tweeted
you.
Yes, thank you, Gillian. Thank you so much.
That's sensational for this time of day.
She was actually out of the party till 4 o'clock.
Horrifying, isn't it, when you look
You were saying you
Well,
were
no, I mean, yeah, we were watching the news yesterday, but me and my wife were in tears looking at the pictures, particularly of the children who are suffering. Yeah, I mean, it's dreadful when any age suffers, but when you see the pictures of the human suffering that's going on, you just think, whatever we can do to get to an end of this is just, come on.
Let's move to the Express, Martin,
yes.
because if they're not doing a weather story, they're doing a health story, which always give us something to think about.
Occasionally.
Blood pressure.
This is just what a story. Millions of people at risk from high blood pressure. It's a killer disease. It's now been highlighted as one of the top killer diseases. I think people are aware of blood pressure, but how many people actually take steps to check their blood pressure? I mean, people are watching now. When was the last time you, for instance, Steve, when was the last time you had your blood pressure checked?
Well, I do have I'm diabetic.
Well, okay.
I'm a type 1 diabetic,
Okay,
so
well,
I get mine checked automatically, which is good, and it is tightly. I mean, mine is ever so slightly high, so they do treat it.
It's right. And high blood pressure has been known for a long time to be a major cause or contributing factor towards heart disease and stroke. It's very easy to treat. But to treat it, you've got to know you've got it. And especially for blokes, we don't go to the doctor unless we absolutely have to.
Terrible,
So the idea of randomly going and having our blood pressure checked when we kind of feel okay is just against us all. And yet there was a story in the paper yesterday, I don't know if you read it, about a guy who was dancing at a Christmas party. He was dancing to Gangnam Style. 48-year-old guy. Dropped dead. Bang.
So
he was there 1 minute, family man. Next thing, he's dropped dead.
Martin, is it related to stress and...
Stress, health, lifestyle, diet. And it's not just a case, I have to say, going to the doctor and getting a tablet. You need to look at things like your lifestyle, what you eat, cut down your salt, do more exercise. There's obvious things, but the first step is to actually know you've got a problem.
Do you think it's an idea for people to have the kits at home?
Yeah, I mean, 20 odd quid, you can get yourself one of those things you put on your arm and you can test it. So if you're worried about going to the doctor, you can actually just do it at home.
You might get obsessed and test it every day and then start thinking, oh no.
But better that, Tanya, isn't it?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
1 minute there, next minute not.
If it is a hidden killer, as you say, it is a problem. Look, thank you both. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Stay on our lovely new red sofa, because we've got lots more coming up for you in just a minute. There's a lot of concern in some of the papers this morning, Martin, health-wise. Rickets.
Yes.
Coming back.
Yeah, you thought it was a thing from Dickensian novels and
Didn't we just?
Oliver the Stage Show. Leading doctors are saying that children should be given vitamin D supplements. Now, vitamin D is one of those really interesting vitamins. You get it in food, but you also get it from sunshine. Your body naturally produces it when you're out in the sun. And one of the side effects of a very wet summer, believe it or not, is that the children haven't been outside as much. And as a result, they haven't had the chance to build up a bit of a stock of vitamin D. And the knock-on effect is that this disease, which causes softening of the bones and the classic sort of bow-legged look, is actually returning to Britain in 2012. So, the thing is, vitamin D supplements, there's foods you can eat which give you good vitamin D supply, fishy, oily fishes and stuff like that, but very simple and inexpensive vitamins. My children take little vitamins in the shape of a little gummy bear.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And they're brilliant. Every morning they love it. With their breakfast they have a little gummy bear.
Sweet, and the fish oil you can have by liquid for the children as well.
But is this pure vitamin D? A multivitamin is no good?
No, but as long as the multivitamins have actually got the vitamin D in them, and you can check that by just reading the packet, then it's absolutely brilliant.
I wouldn't think in this day and age that it would...
extraordinary.
I suppose the children, hooked to games and not getting outside as much.
Yeah,
That's true.
Sitting in
Yeah,
television.
he's always hooked up.
I've always wanted to see, but I tell you what, blaming computer games though, that's a whole new controversy.
Computer games cause rickets. That's what
Oh,
Gillian.
Gillian,
That's a bit
Mr. Techno Man.
Yes.
what is going on with? I mean, look, people can either love Justin Bieber or hate him, but this sort of threat, it's disgusting, isn't it?
What price would you put on your testicles?
More than £2.5
Well, I would as well, actually. A horrible story here, though, but it shows the sort of negative side of celebrity, I suppose. An obsessed fan who became convinced that Justin Bieber had snubbed his efforts to get in contact, employed a couple of heavies to go and chop off Justin Bieber's whatnots, as well as the other various nasty things to him. I mean, the Sun makes a great job of this picture by putting a pair of garden shears by Justin Bieber's ghoulies, but the reality was that these thugs who'd been employed to actually go and attack Justin Bieber, one of them was found with a set of garden shears in his car. And the idea that they would wander up...
No wonder he's holding on to them in the picture. I wondered why he was...
Thanks for that, Tanya.
But, you know, there's a funny side to it, but the other side is really quite serious. It is this, you know, people who do get obsessed with celebrities and anybody.
Frightening for him. He must have had quite a few threats, though, Martin.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine people who don't like his music and stuff, but I mean, this is an obsessed fan, and it just, you know, I guess bodyguards who are quite heavy you need.
Yeah, he must have a lot of protection.
Yeah, well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? You would think so.
And a box.
Well,
great story, though, Justin.
So, Martin.
I think he's a great story. Whatever you think about him, Stephen, came from nothing. He was out there basking in the streets, and he built
And he's
himself.
actually very talented.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Note to
Well,
self. Note to self. Always reply to fan mail.
We've got 20 seconds. Who wants to talk about health and safety?
Me. Mad. Yes. Santa Claus flies around the world,
But it's
delivers
about
all the
Simon
children's
Cowell.
presents in one night, flies on a sleigh. However, there's some over-the-top health and safety executives. In fact, it is the people from the Rotary Club who've said that the Santa cannot sit on top of their sleigh in their local parade. It's been going on for 50 years. This year they said nope, but isn't that a headline? Just a priceless one.
Health and safety.
Health and safety ban on Santa. Come on.
It's a gift for
The
everyone,
man
right?
is
Look, we shall see you again in Tanya Breyer and TV property presenter Martin Roberts. And Martin, we'll start with you, should we, this time round? The BBC needs more gays on children's TV.
That's going to grab the headlines, isn't it?
Quite a statement.
Yeah, well, the BBC have... It's stunning. The BBC have commissioned a survey which found that across the board it should be featuring more gays, lesbians and bisexual, and it particularly singled out children's television as a place where these should be featured in order to familiarise audiences through incidental portrayal from an early age.
Right. Which is interesting because, of course, children's TV, in terms of, you know, it's got a reputation, hasn't it? There's a lot of, you know, how can we say it, sort of flamboyant characters have presented children's TV over the years.
Yes.
Exactly, and I just, I mean...
Doesn't seem to be any lack of.
No.
So
And what
surprising.
I don't get is I mean, the last time I checked, gay people and lesbian people look pretty much the same as anybody else, unless they're openly snogging in public or whatever. You know, whatever. So unless we're talking about people being dressed up in transvestite clothing on children's
Or do they
television.
mean it in the sort of, you know, children's dramas and things, where it is that they're therefore more visible?
There was a
presence?
huge scandal or debate a couple of years ago when the BBC actually employed its first disabled children's presenter, a lady with one arm missing, and I think that's brilliant. I think that's great for familiarising children with disabilities, and there has to be a balance in all these things. But it's interesting that this report comes out and sort of states that this should be a fact.
Martin, bar bill. Now I can imagine you head to the bar on a Friday night or whatever, and you say, "I'll put this on the tab."
This is
Where you'll be tonight?
poultry for me. This is this bloke who admittedly had a good day at the casinos. He won a six-figure sum. He then went on to spend a six-figure sum, buying everyone in the club, apparently, and some girlies in particular, champagne to the tune of £105,000 worth of champagne. Yeah, £26,000 for one bottle. It was a big bottle, but that's a lot of money. But my favourite bit about this is the tip. £15,795 tip. For popping a cork. Can you imagine if you were the waiter on that night? Here you go, love.
Service charge. Could you pull out of a service? You normally refuse a service charge.
It's discretional. 15,000. What a silly waste of money.
I wonder what it felt like the next morning.
Why did he not donate? Why didn't he donate that to charity? How much good could that do? I'm really cross by that. Why didn't he just give his money to charity there?
Well, I suppose
What do you mean,
well?
well?
He was probably in a...
No, but he wasted £120,000. How much? It's his choice.
And
But
what did he feel like in the morning?
in a world where children are starving, honestly, that guy's a...
Yeah, well, I know what you may imagine. A Jeroboam of Cristal champagne, £5,000. Good grief! I can't imagine. I would never spend that money, sort of money, if I had it, which I don't.
What about the Christmas lights?
Oh, go on then. What's that
This
on?
is great. We all love our Christmas lights.
That's on the
And
Mail.
over the last few years, I don't know if you've noticed, but certainly around where I live, houses have started doing that American thing of actually just putting lights up outside.
Look at
And
that.
if you live in a street with those, it's actually great at Christmas. It's absolutely lovely. But this particular street in Poole in Dorset has got so many Christmas lights that when they turn it on, the national power grid notices a dip. Right? It is that many
I
lights.
think it's also living next door to that must be hell.
300,000
Imagine their
lights.
poor neighbours and
You
what they
can
think.
see this lighting display from space.
Oh.
It is
Wow,
amazing. Yes.
Do you think they're trying to outdo someone?
Would drive me
People queue round the
mad.
block to see this.
It's great.
It
Drive you
becomes
mad. Bar
such a
humbug.
feature.
What's wrong with that? It's great.
I am bar humbug.
You are bar humbug.
I'm
Yeah,
afraid
there we
so.
go.
There you go. Look, it's been great to see you both this
Thank
morning.
you very much.
Cheers. Have a nice day.
Let's have a quick